I like Redford a lot, and so I'm into that. Bull Durham, is another sports movie that people kind of like. Yeah, it's tough, man, coming up with a 5, because we love sports. This is who we are. I mean, look at what's coming up this weekend. You got NFL playoff weekend, and it's amazing. Now, again, the Cavs, that game last night, they just didn't show up last night, but they're one of the best teams in the NBA right now. Just a little bit of a weird night last night. I mean, they got, rocked. We're down by 40 at some point. I mean, it was just like a weird night for them. And so that kind of happened. But you got good basketball going on, is my point. You got NFL games all weekend. It's just, it's part of the fabric of this country. And competition, heroes, almost made it. And let me tell you, you can make a great sports movie about people who fail just as much as you can make a movie about people who made it. You know what I mean? That's what's great, is that when you're storytelling, you can lean into, as long as there's one or the other, you can lean into that there. $1 Million Baby, Clint Eastwood there, and is that Hilary Swank? I'm sorry if I'm pulling from memory. You know, I saw that movie. I don't remember that movie. I would have to watch that movie again to have any frame of reference on it. Okay, I asked if Happy Gilmore is a sports movie. You guys seem to be split about 60-40, yes versus no. I guess this is a little like how Die Hard is a Christmas movie, right? Is it kind of like that? And I get, well, maybe you could push back against that theory with Happy Gilmore in the sense that the sport is more than 75% of the focal point. I guess that would be part of that. Angels in the Outfield. You guys are pretty funny. You guys are pretty funny. Yeah, Angels in the Outfield. Dakota says he watched that until it worn out. Oh my God, dude, Tim. Oh my God, this is insane. This is crazy. I cannot believe I have not mentioned this until now. It's like Stansberry. Come on, buddy. Tell me you went through Slapshot. You took us through Miracle. I get it. But Mystery Alaska, and you don't bring up the Mighty Ducks? Fair. Yeah, man. The Mighty Ducks. That's one of those movies. I know Emilio. I know the fat goalie ended up being the crackhead, and then they saved his life. I don't remember. Did he ended up dying now? You will look some stuff up during the break. I don't know about that. God, I forgot about the Mighty. Is that going to be Disney? I might have to watch. I remember the first Mighty Ducks movie. They ended up that's one of those, their franchises that if I look, there's going to end up being more of those than I thought, right? Is that one of those? They bled that dry, I think, right? There's 7 of those. Hold on, IMDb. We'll do stuff on the fly. I mean, the system's going to crash in 3 minutes. You won't be able to hear anything anyway. What the hell does it matter? The Mighty Ducks. Don't fat finger it there. D2, Game Changers, D3, D5. I had bet 7. The animated series, The Mighty Ducks, the movie, The First Face Off. All right, yeah, okay, yeah, there's some stuff. Yeah, they bled it dry. I was right. Hey, look at that. Turns out I know a little bit about corporate entertainment types. They like to bleed stuff dry.
The Stansberry Show. The show sucks. On Rock 106.9.
Welcome back to the program here on Rock 106.9. Throughout most of the morning, we've been spending our time talking a little sports movies. Bob Uecker, most people, I would think, linked him to Harry Doyle, his character, the role he had played in Major League there. Just a bit outside, sorry. I have a little sound wall issue today. I apologize on that. There was Mr. Belvedere. He was in the Miller Lite commercials were great back in the day. I had said, earlier in the program, I said, everybody's an influencer today. You watch anybody on Instagram, they have their, I have my partner link. Don't forget to hit my partner link right at the bottom of that. Hit like and subscribe and hit my partner link. Everybody's got a partner link now. And I said, Bob Uecker was actually influenced. right? Like, that guy, I think, sold truckloads of beer, man. You can maybe make the same argument about the most interesting man in the world, right, with Dos Equis and that kind of thing. Like that's actually influencing, right? But Euchre, known for the sports movie Major League, so we just kind of got into that broad conversation about it, right? Sandlot came up more than a few times. I got a little hyper-focused on the hockey movies for a half second. My buddy Mark was like, dude, don't forget Slapshot. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That was a good one there. I brought up Mystery Alaska. I like that movie a lot. And somebody said, dude, you're not going to talk about the Mighty Ducks? Mighty Ducks. Tim reminded us about Mighty Ducks. There's Miracle there. Donnie, during the break, was like, man, hockey? Where's Goon? Okay, now I don't know if we're going to put Goon in like a top 10 best sports movies of all time. Right? Like, I don't know if that movie's getting there. Was Goon an enjoyable movie? And yeah, that movie was pretty good. Like, Sean William Scott, for anybody who doesn't know, every team kind of has an enforcer. They're not really a hockey player. They're in that movie. It's a little bit of a try-hard story. It was good. You are right. That's a good movie. I don't think we could go top 10 there, top 5. I don't even think I would. I don't put Goon in Major Leagues. Like, that doesn't go on the same shelf, does it? I don't think so. But again, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be our opinions and how we see it. I said, I'm not sure I view Happy Gilmore as a sports movie, even though it's about one of my favorite sports in golf. It is the focal point, more than 70% of the movie. I guess you'd have to call it that. But I said, for me, Tin Cup feels like a sports movie, even though it's a romantic comedy, and yet, and I don't necessarily feel like, Happy Gilmore is a sports movie. I'm trying to keep Caddyshack in the back of my national. The love I have of Doug Kenny, I can't even put it into words. People hated that movie when it came out, and he hated the fact that they hated it. And he died. They talked about this in the movie they made about him. He died before people really started to like it. And his future self tells him, laying there in the casket, he's like, if it's any consolation, they actually like Caddyshack in the end. And it's like, because it was one of those things, it was like the robotic thing, and like in the moment it was kind of pan, and that became a cult classic. It was like Dazed and Confused like that. It was like, if we picked it up as the audience and told Siskel and Ebert, suck it, you guys don't know anything. The original Rotten Tomatoes, you guys don't know a goddamn thing, right? And so we picked it up and made it ours. That's kind of one of those. Is Caddyshack, it's about golf. Okay, this is going to sound like I'm splitting hairs. And it's because I am. Because, we're filling minutes on a show. Is that movie as much about golf as it is about the country club overall? Is it about... That movie's less about the golf to me and more about greasers versus socias. Right? We got a little West Side Story. We got a little bit of that in there. These two classes mix. That... like golf. But God, I love that movie. I just, the fact that they made a second one. The hell's the matter with you people? Don't do that. But I love Caddyshack. That would be on my top 5 for sure. A sports movie we haven't gotten to yet. I said, I don't know if a lot of people are going to consider golf to be a sport. So a few of you have said this. Is NASCAR a sport? I will say yes. Again, that's 187 miles per hour, 40-degree banks, 2 inches apart from one another. Routinely, people don't die. You can't get down 77 today without 3 cars going sideways. I don't want to hear about how NASCAR's not a sport. Those guys lose like 7 pounds while they're sitting at the wheel of that car during the Daytona 500. They literally sweat out pounds off of their body. I don't want to hear about how that's not a sport. All right? That's something. It's competition. Let me just tell you. For a society in love with saying the word alpha, taking a machine at 200 miles per hour, 3 inches apart from other people doing it, and you do it successfully, there are a lot of alphas out there on that track, man. I'm just telling you. Oh, I'm afraid of the, how do I merge? I can't get on the, how do I merge? Right? Yeah, NASCAR's a sport. As is this. I say this about Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. That is people talk about Days of Thunder in that regard. Like, it kind of sucks, but kind of great. I actually disagree with that assessment. I actually just think Days of Thunder is a good movie. Now, I'm in that zone, right? I'm a Gen Xer. So Tom Cruise was he was flying fighter planes when I'm 10. So like it's a movie. We don't do this anymore, sadly. Laying around on the couch, halftime of the football game, flip around a little bit. You catch Days of Thunder? Days of Thunder's the movie that maybe makes you miss the first part of the third quarter, right? Seen it a million times. But it's cold trickle. It's cold trickle, baby. We go around. And so, like, and you gotta watch it. There's movies like that. Shawshank, now that's not a sports movie, but, like, that's a movie that can make you miss the first part of the third quarter. Like, oh, damn it, I forgot, right? And then back. Now, we don't watch TV that way more, but, like, or not a lot of us do anyway, but, like, that's, the Days of Thunder's it's one of those movies for me. I don't know if I'm gonna, like, if I see it on the street, is one of those. As a physical copy guy, and I've been starting to try to recoup some of my movies physical copy to make sure I have them. I'd like to visit at some point.
How you doing?
I have a list.
Things going well?
It's broken down by what I want to make sure I get first, last. If I can ever find it, great. Days of Thunder would be not on the make sure you get it on the first, like, 50 movies I want. Absolutely on the, in Caddyshack. So if I said to you, hey, we're making this list of, sports comedies. Dude, we're going to put 2 Bill Murray. Yeah, we're only allowing 1 Bill Murray movie in. If we had it that, and we don't have to have it that way, I'm saying, but even, I don't think that's a mean.
The Stansberry Show.
It's a medicinal fact that rum gets a man's heart started in the morning.
On Rock 106.9.
I wouldn't mind going to Vietnam one of these someday.
Bob Uecker passing away at the age of 90.
Got to do a little recovery right now.
The broadcaster from
taking a month off, trying to play catch up now. Yeah, the internet sucks out here.
I always say I'm synonymous with all things Kiss for you guys. You take me in the time machine and go back to 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old Stansberry and tell him that his head is going to explode. He would love it.
Yeah, we got some bad internet connection out here.
You think baseball's kind of this thing.
From what I've seen, and
knocked it out of the park. But we had been talking sports movies, and we've mentioned a ton of them, right? The Sandlot's come up more than a few times. I'm actually going to watch it again. I've seen it as an adult.
Yeah, I'm in Ohio.
Years now, where I'd like to watch that again.
The butthole of America.
I have not talked about dodgeball yet. If we were going to just talk sport, as we've talked a little Days of Thunder, NASCAR, talking sports comedy. Somebody's asking me, dude, where is
here in the near future? But nothing major.
I love that movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah, you're not missing much here. It's
that and
Amish buggies and farmland, basically. Small towns scattered about.
Right, and you're right, we did. Talladega Nights.
You saw the gist of it on
that movie.
Billy Blues.
Honestly, I'm a little shocked they didn't go back to that.
Hike Across Ohio. I mean, that's basically what you're looking at.
To where another one of those, I'm surprised wasn't part of that situation. Now, more than a few of you, sports movies, and we've talked some sports comedies, regular sports movie, traditional sports movie, what have you.
I've been to Texas a couple times. Never outside the airport, though.
Now, when you tell me Talladega Nights and then I see The Longest Yard, I assume you mean Sandler's remake of The Longest Yard.
That's what I'd like to do, is travel. I'd like to travel full time.
I liked the original. Burt Reynolds.
Got to pay for life first.
Again, that's more like my brother, who was about 7 years older than I was. My cousin Doug, who lived, directly across the street, and his brother Michael, they're around that age. So, I remember them kind of watching that movie in the living room a lot, and me pretending I was knowing what was going on, just wanting to hang out with the older kids and be cool. So, stuff like that's more my brother's thing. But I remember liking that movie. The Sandler, it's a Sandler comedy, so you know what you're getting there. You're going to laugh a little. I I wouldn't have Sandler's remake of The Longest Yard.
Gotta excuse the audio. I
You know, and the cop chasing the car.
getting tired of fighting YouTube over copyright bullshit, so
all that part's kind of great, but like
I can't really copyright someone talking in the background. So I
don't know if I've
got a local radio station on for
best sports movies.
guy does commentary and opinion.
With the gay characters in the jail and all of that, and like this movie didn't hold.
Really got to see much in Texas. Like I said, I didn't think I've been to Dallas International Airport twice,
Of his comedy not holding up. Rob Schneider.
So I haven't seen much outside of being on the airplane.
I've seen that movie. I remember going, all right, it's not necessarily one of my favorites, but Rudy keeps coming up. Any Given Sunday with Bob Uecker, that's what gets you into Major League, right, and all of that, is another sports comedy we haven't
Made the
mentioned.
mistake of stopping at Wendy's this morning for breakfast. I gotta stop eating this fucking trash we got here.
And that movie wasn't so much even a movie when it came out.
I felt so much better.
As a cultural moment. Right? And there were these conversations that kind of erupted. Like,
it was probably my uncle.
Conversation, right? Where Wesley's telling...
He was a traveling...
Wesley Snipes is telling Woody...
He was a traveling... preacher or whatever. I'm not sure what they radios. Just...
You can catch me.
Bunch of bullshit politics and shit you don't give a crap about.
Like, oh damn, I forgot that game was on, right? And White Men Can't Jump, I think, would be another one of those lists on my movie. Where I'm halftime.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then, I was over in the Philippines for.
And you can maybe catch me on that movie.
Obviously, you've seen me in some of my videos. I'm a bigger guy.
I didn't even.
When I left for the Philippines, I was close to 300 pounds. Just the month I was there, I lost 46 pounds because the food's healthier. It's not all the trash we have here. It's not processed.
I just knew. I was like, this isn't for me.
Full of sugar and.
Is to make people my age go on social media. It's for.
Hoping I'm able to bring more content. We'll see. But issues to get monetized or anything, I've pretty much given up on that. Just posting the post.